removed in this first best of 5, and we are going to Tomb of the Spider Queen.
Oh, yes.
This is the map pick of GG. Miracle will have first pick. And I am hyped, G-Clef, for this playoffs to get started. Here we go. The first draft is now underway. Every other match this season has not been permanent, but this one, you lose here, and it's over for you. See you next season.
It's over, and you have to. I think you have to be. You're going to be resting and practicing for another entire month after that mid-season brawl.
You're going to be watching, sitting at home, wishing you could have been there.
That's right. And the big questions of today's draft between these two teams will be Genji. There we go. Genji is banned instantly from Miracle.
So now they have the opportunity to force GG's hand in a way in terms of the Zeratul pick. So GG will likely ban the, I would say they likely ban the Falstad here, just because they can then counterpick some other global hero later on. But you know, this is a map where we haven't seen Falstad from too many of the teams.
There's a Zeratul ban on Tadami.
It's been mostly MVP Black that's been running Falstad on this map. The scrim partner, of course, the sister team of Miracle. So we'll see if they want to first pick him.
With Zeratul gone, I think they can. Or the safe, if they want to just go safe with the balance pick, they can go with Malfurion as they would just pick it from the first pick.
Indeed. Just to reiterate this one more time, this is the Genji balance patch, and of course, D.Va is restricted and not released on this patch. Next week will be the D.Va patch with D.Va unavailable, but with the Tyrande changes, etc. So that's not live this weekend. I know a lot of people have been playing on the live patch, and it's really hype and exciting, but we're not there just yet.
It's going to put, of course, before the patch, and still what they've been really prioritizing here. It's a support. We also saw some great support chokes with the ban on Malfurion and also Kerazim. And taking Uther themselves really limited the other team to have the support choke most of the times.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a Muradin rotation here. The question is it with Falstad? Not an absolute necessary pick. We're going to take the Nazeebo instead, really early with the Ragnaros. The Nazeebo obviously going to be great at poking and denying turn-ins, and we've talked about his scaling countless times on this map and Dragonshire specifically, because there are maps that go longer. The reason why Dragonshire goes so long is because it's so difficult to capture the objective, and then on this map, the objective is very weak compared to other maps. So you do not generally get to level 20. You do get that Vile Infection, and he's just so good at delaying the turn-ins. Ragnaros, for that same reason. So there's a very objective-based composition that GG is focusing on right now.
That's right, and with Nazeebo and Rag, of course Zeratul is the soft counter to Falstad, and it is banned away. But the problem that Miracle is having right now is because Nazeebo has that late game scaling, one Spider Toss can actually kill a Nazeebo entirely with one skill. And Ragnaros, the power of Ragnaros offensively and defensively with that Molten Core is going to change a lot, since if you pop that Molten Core in the mid lane, you can go into the range, both top and bottom, because this map is not, the lanes are not too far apart.
So Falstad is going to be picked up here now by Miracle with the Tyrael. A very quick draft for Miracle so far. They seem very confident here. Gul'dan will be removed because of the wave clear and the engage potential. Very strong on this map. And now Miracle may look to ban the Muradin if they're not planning on picking him up themselves. Obviously ETC though, still a very strong pick on this map, so a tank ban is a little bit weak, I'd say, but that's the one that they're considering for sure.
If GG does not take ETC and give it up to Miracle, I think Miracle will just out-rotate the entire team of GG. Super strong with their rotations and also having that flight available for disengage later on.
So this may end up being because of all the heroes removed, a Tychus composition for GG. The other alternative hero that we could look for here would be the Sergeant Hammer. Now Li Ming is not out of the question, but with a Tyrael on the other side, the spell damage reduction is quite something to consider. Now, BDG has some incredible Li Ming, so they may look for that, especially with this objective-based comp. It's going to be the Greymane instead, though, with the ETC.
Nice. That's a steal away, I think.
Yes.
They wanted to steal away both ETC and Greymane because Tyrael is a lot of threat with the Sanctification and Mosh connection, with Greymane diving in to the Sank and doing constant damage in the wolf form. Perfect drafting. They have studied, they have done their homework and see that coming.
So there's a lot of really nice ways to control this game now for GG. I like their draft a lot better. Falstad's split push power is very strong, and obviously we'll go marksman, and that will scale well into the late game. But the scaling that's already there for the Zebo, the Ragnaros ability to delay turn-ins with Spider's cocktails, the early game pressure that ETC puts on, makes this a terrifying draft right now for GG. Whereas Miracle has an all-around safe draft, but I did not expect the Stitches pick. We're seeing this guy rise to popularity right now.
That's right, Stitches are coming up in Korea, especially with Malfurion pair every single time. But is that going to be enough? They have the burst, and Falstad more likely will go to the seasoned marksman. Once that completes, I think they can burst down a lot more. But the only burst we're going to have is the Q from Falstad and basically Li Ming's damage. Will that be enough? We'll see. Let's see in game if that's enough.
That is going to be the question here. You know, the key is going to be about the protection, and it's only the ETC front line here, whereas Miracle has the double front line. Raymond is going to have to be positioned very well. The same with Ragnaros, does not want to get caught out in lane. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our very first match of playoffs here. MVP Miracle up against GG for our first series. Our first map is Tomb of the Spider Queen, and we're going to jump into it right here, right now. In blue, MVP Miracle, Honkono on Stitches, Dami on Tyrael, Sniper on Falstad, Crazy Moving on Li Ming, and Darvish on Malfurion.
And in red, GG, BDG on Greymane, Jaehyun on Kerosene, Good on Rag, Hooligan and ETC, and Uj on Nazebo.
Okay, here we go. Nothing crazy in terms of talent picks. So look at this, already the root is good. No pun intended, and he is taken down. Hooligan eats the damage too. It's gonna be a double. That's another reset here for Crazy Moving. And wow, I guess you make the Stitches pick worth it already here in the first 20 seconds of the game. That's gonna be demoralizing.
That's gonna be the pair we're gonna see over and over again. Darvish having the trust onto Honkono's hook like that. And it was a right pick if you picked on Greymane, Kerosene, or ETC. It happened to be Rag, who does not have the escape, so there was a kill. And also ETC came in for the defensive use of Power Slide, and basically got himself caught also.
And that's the idea, is to always target down that ETC, who's less tanky once his armor wears off. Be a little bit tougher with the kind of rework of his trait. So this gives them a pretty significant EXP lead and a 9 gem lead in terms of gems carried currently. So the ETC pick is so powerful in the early game, but if you can hit these Stitches hooks, pair them with the entangling roots, then the early game could be won by Miracle with even a safer early game, you know, because of its ability to get picks, this composition at range even.
And also this battleground has so many walls around, it's really good for Stitches to hook someone like Nazebo and Rag, as you just saw, have them isolated against the wall of the other side, and then you can get easy picks off if you can go get those hooks. I don't see the slams coming up. Maybe Honkono will go for that hook balance later on.
Yeah, very high chance of that. We'll see. He's obviously building into his dampen magic at level 1 to work against the spider damage that's coming out from Nazebo. It's going to be very, very powerful when the spiders start coming out to keep him alive. So, see how this next engage plays out. Remember, GG, despite having less gems carried currently, 38 to 28, so about 10 ahead right now is Miracle. They will have a lot of delay tactics, and in fact, they're just going to hard push this top lane right now, force a rotation. Hooligan in good position. They do get the safe rotate away. And during this pressure, Greymane's actually able to steal the bot camp solo. So this is actually a really nice pressure move by GG. Well played.
It's going to be a good trade for sure. And Malf even going for the Moonguard for the extra wave clear. And damn it, there's a hook! Exactly what they needed. Power Slide will not save him at the end of the day.
And now BDG, he actually is really playing with fire right now. Does get out. But he got the last minion there. Did not expect him to stick around that long with the rotation coming. Good move away, though. So, another pick here for Miracle, and gems lost on the side of GG. So again, Miracle is just 2 gems away now from getting the last turn in. If they can get another pick, too, they could probably secure that turn in. Ooh, nice dodge.
On that live horse, of course. Do you think we're going to see Gorge tonight? I think it's possible here.
It's definitely a possibility. But honestly, especially with the gray main pick, I think it's more likely we'll see the Bile on this map. Let's see, because if they can snowball this game, if they have a lot of towers up early on, I mean, we all know how good Gorge is when you can actually just walk behind a cannon tower and drop a hero in there. The trust was real for Dami, but Hook didn't connect.
Also talking about Greymane, GG has a lot of damage. Even Karazim does so much damage after getting that 16 Iron Fist, 100 Fist actually. So we may actually see Cursed Bullet coming out from Greymane, because they do have Nazebo and Rag for the damage. Just to chunk down onto the maximum HP of Stitches or Tyrael during the team fight, beginning of the team fight.
GG has enough for a turn in here, so Miracle's gonna have to be aggressive. There's the follow-up route. This time it's onto Hooligan. Aldruins comes in to try to body block, but he just barely gets the power slide away. Good reaction time there by the tank player of GG, and see, Good actually gets caught here, and this is not a trade he can win. Oh, no way! Okay, he gets him with the smite. I was like, there's no way he gets out of here. This actually might be a turn-in for MVP Miracle. They need to get over here and deny if they want to commit. I just don't know if this is going to be reasonable anymore. Even Jaehyun is actually significantly low on health. Let's heal up here.
Seems like Stitch is also turned in at the bottom, but their GG is keeping up because they have 4. If they lose 1 more, then Miracle can turn in for sure. But for now, they do have some pretty good wave clear. But this is going to do it for Miracle for sure.
Yeah, just no one over here to deal with this. There was actually a root, but no follow-up hook in this case. Crazy Moving has been so accurate with his magic missiles this game. I mean, he's threading the needle. But power hungry, so he's constantly rotating between the lanes. He's getting those globes, so not really out of mana, has the extra AP. It's going to be the big issue here for GG throughout this early game. So keep in mind that Widowmakers should finish in the next 2 minutes or so, which is a nice power spike in terms of damage for GG. They don't have that yet. They're just being bullied by the CC more than anything else, though, for Miracle. And if Crazy Moving's not going to miss his missiles, it's just going to be a bad time every time you get hooked.
It's also because GG has lots of melee, like Greymane, once he goes in, he may find himself in the dead zone with the root. Jaehyun also has to dash, which is a threat, of course, from root.
Ooh!
There's a great
These roots!
Perfect.
The roots with the hook follow-up, I mean, the accuracy is good on the hooks, but the roots are there every time.
You see Darvish putting the root, like, in the middle of the hook there before he even got the hook.
No.
There's the trust then.
Yeah, no, this could be a Gorge pick because of the structure that I was talking about, where you can actually get a lot of defensive Gorges off to just pull people behind the towers and drop them off next to forts and things like that. And he is going to commit to it. If you're this far ahead, I think it's a really good choice. If you're behind or even dead even, you probably want to go Bile for the safer engages against the Greymane. Now here comes out the Molten Core. They're going to try to catch the retreat here, but they can't be too aggressive with this because 10 is ready. If Honkono got a hook there, they could have turned this fight.
Yeah, that's a very good defense, of course. Defensive use of the Molten Core. Their fort was about one-third HP left only.
They need to get up here and deny some turn-ins, though, or this is going to be a back-to-back here. I think it might just be too late already. 36 in.
Looking for Honkono. There's a power slide and a zombie wall, but not in time. Also got cleansed.
Okay, here's the Gorge I'm talking about. When you have the walls up like this, you're this far ahead, you just gorge them over the wall, and that's another kill, and so many drop gems. This moment of this commitment to the Gorge will cost them a turn-in. Well, I think it was well worth it in the end.
That's right. ETC seems like ETC just used the power slide to Leeming, so it was on cooldown. He couldn't surfer away from the wall. That's why he had to die over the wall there. It
is Cursed Bullet, by the way, as well as Stage Dive coming out from ETC, so going to be a semi-global in this way. An interesting choice, all things considered, I suppose, against the Li Ming. He didn't want to necessarily pick it, but Li Ming took Disintegrate. Probably waited until after the stage dive was locked in, but Li Ming would have always been able to pick the Wave of Force against it, so perhaps that's the main reason why. Honkono actually getting caught here. Remember, Stitches doesn't have any escapes. That's one of his weaknesses. Just wasted smash, though, right on the gate, expecting him to try to go the other way around. That's a painful cooldown to lose.
There was more of an expected way on Honkono. Chose the right path to go north to evade everything, evade the zombie wall and the Sephiroth smash. Nice try, though. That didn't work out perfectly. But maybe next time.
Maybe next time, indeed. So again, Miracle has this turn-in available. GG is going to have to be really careful about setting up to deny that.
Oh, look at that hook onto Greymane. Some follow-up, some damage from Li Ming only. Actually, Honkono getting significant amount of damage. Maybe if they had the smash available now, he could have got the kill, but that will actually give a great turn-in for Miracle.
That's right. Huge silence by Darvish as well to make sure that no one else could get picked, or no one got picked at all in general. Still 6 kills to 0. But yeah, a nice turn-in. This will clear up at least 2 forts. And will highly damage the bottom keep wall, which is what Sniper is prepping for right now, to make sure that Webweaver has max distance and has the path of least resistance to that keep wall against the minions. It only has to deal with 1 minion wave. Here comes the stage dive. Immediate root, though, which is one of the soft counters to it, why it fell out of the meta. Darvish's like, I haven't played against this in a while, but I know exactly what to do. Immediate root comes down.
That's right, and they have pressures in all 3 lanes. The bottom fort is also gone. 2 forts down already. GG has to back up. I believe Molten Core is available, but they're not 13 yet, so they're just gonna lose their forts, but they want to trade it after. Actually, going into Molten Core after the fort is down.
Yeah, just barely gets that up in time, but sadly not going to save the fort. Now it feels kind of wasted, to be honest.
I think he was trying to wait for the rotations of his teammates to come up.
Oh,
I think they're going to lose Raymond in the middle for overextending a little bit.
I think BDG has like 4 deaths this game. He's been, and it's not really his fault necessarily every time, it's just the good hooks. I think the root was on cooldown that time. Still got the hook though. Jaehyun needs to get out. There's a zoning root, smash used. He wants to turn this. Good palm actually by Jaehyun, but at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. He's going to die for it. Ouch! 9 kills to 0. This is a dominant performance by Miracle. Remember, this is their opponent's map choice. They're going to boss here with these early kills, the talent tier advantage, and even the scaling advantage they have at 15 to 12.
That's right, almost 3 levels away, and they also have Gust available and Sanctification. So they have every single thing they need, and the only threat they actually have is Rag on that Molten Core for the damage. But Rag is down, and that's going to be a free boss for Miracle.
All right, well.
I don't think they even used 1 Sanctification yet.
Nope.
There was not really much of a big team fight. It was all picks. Picks over and over again. When GG wanted to fight, they all disengaged. Smart plays by Miracle right here.
Well, this is boss plus Webweavers, this push, which is horrifying to even consider, to even think about. As Miracle just wants to end this game early. We talked about how defeating Nazeebo is to prevent him from getting level 20, prevent him from getting tanky as well throughout the game. The earlier you can win the game, how aggressively you can push the lanes, and just snowball a game is one of the ways to defeat Nazeebo, and that is what Miracle is doing here. The Gorge was a good pick. It got them 2 kills.
They're looking for their angle. They know Falstad is away for the moment.
That's this terrifying thing. He's just pushing those Webweavers too. They want this keep. He can come in at any moment.
Miracle knows that Molten Core is still on cooldown for some more seconds.
Hey, Hulin's going to come in, and remember, he doesn't have Mosh. They're not afraid of anything like that. That allows them to play so much more aggressively here.
That's right, and they're into pressure because Falstad has been pushing the middle lane, and now the bottom lane, the second wall, is going down already.
Yep. So threatening 2 keeps. It doesn't look like they're going to get any keeps, but they're really heavily pressuring the wall. And because Sniper now has Seasoned Marksman, you can know how much damage he's putting off with these auto attacks. And it's pretty terrifying. So
look at the map, look at the minimap, and draw a line in between the map. The left side is just 100% healthy. On the right side, it's almost totally gone. Just keeps left there.
Yeah, this could be a perfect game actually for Miracle. Oh, smash misses though. Honkono with the jukes, he is killing it today. It feels like, I mean, every team always does right in HGC, but it feels like today Miracle's like in try-hard mode. Like they're like really playing their hearts out. I haven't seen them play like this all season.
not just in tryhard mode. I think all of the players are so coordinated today. We have seen some crazy games. I still remember some Cursed Hollows game coming out from MVP Miracle with perfect rotations.
Oh god.
But I think it's all coming down from every single thing is starting with Honkono.
Speaking of which, drop him right in the root. Nice ice block to avoid that combo from Li Ming, but he is not getting out regardless. Ooh, Palm comes over to save him, but still Palm now used. I mean, stage dive was used. All they have is Cursed Bullet, which doesn't have a cooldown, so this is going to be a long, hard road to come back. But GG, if they can hold on to their keeps, they're holding on to their keeps currently. That means that the game is going to go longer. The game goes longer, they get that Nazebo scaling.
He just finished Widowmakers. Wow.
That's disastrous.
That
normally you have
took
that
a long time.
You normally have that, especially on this map, like pre 8 minutes. Like that's normal.
It's also because he couldn't toss down the spider to the opponent's hero, because once he gets close, he will get hooked. He was threatened by the range of the hook, so he couldn't really get the quest done until now. It seems like there's a Cursed Bullet onto false that maybe they want to hard rotate. Not even going to commit.
They're just sieging up because they have so much pressure with the Stitches pick. It's like, oh, I dare you to come close, because that's what happens. So Crazy Wing is just sieging this with his Mirror Ball, and eventually this will die. Sniper's split pushing top as well. That's the power of Falstad. Just so good at split pushing, wave clearing, and then zoning back in.
Watch Miracle just go back home right after their GG's about to hit 16. It's going to happen in like next 15 seconds. They want to pressure down this keep as they have Li Ming for the poke.
So more. I think they're going to get greedy here and look for the keep, and I think that's just going to happen. Here comes the Molten Core. They're going to commit. They turn on this, but immediately the disengaging Gust. Okay, here comes the first really good stage dive sanctification, though, used right on time. Darvish has to ice block here in order to survive. And will everyone get home? I don't know if Honkono will be lucky enough. Doesn't have Gorge. Actually, yes, he does. Probably have used it there, but I guess the idea is not worth the cooldown. And so not going to be a perfect game if they win it now. And the keep survives with like 0.0002% health.
If Dami put on that perfect sanctification, it was near perfect, but the damage from the Molten Core, and I believe also the smash, went in slightly to all the 3 targets of Miracle. If that sanctification just dropped 0.2 seconds before, he would have canceled all the damage. I think they could have actually turned everything around with that.
Yeah, I think you're right, but you know, it was just a slight overextension from Miracle, considering the Molten Core was available. That was the real key thing that just hurt them there. Is if that wasn't available, they get a free retreat. Even if stage dive comes down, they just root it and they back off. But dealing with all that extra, basically infinity range damage coming out was a problem. And now GG is going to get another Web Weaver push. It'll be their second of the game. See if they can get more with this one.
That's right, almost hitting 20 soon, and this time it's going to be Cleansing Touch. As I mentioned, GG has a lot of damage in their hands. They don't need any more extra damage coming out from Karazim.
Ooh, Honkono gets caught. Remember, Stitches doesn't have any escapes, but...
That's right, that's a good trade for a 30-second cooldown onto Cursed Bullet for a Gust of 60.
Split pushing actually going on for Dami. They want 20 for this next turn in. They have enough carried. Actually, there's a little bit short, 53 of 65. I could have sworn they were carrying enough, but perhaps with that death of Honkono earlier, that's what they're missing. 20's up now. And we'll see what they grab. Obviously, Epic Mount is required. The Bolt actually makes Gorge even more powerful.
Bolt in and Gorge.
Yeah. Or Gorge and Bolt out. Gorge and Bolt the other side of the map. Come with me in my belly.
That's going to be epic.
Right, so they're about to have enough for a turn in, and they really just want that keep. That's like free if they get a turn in, but they can't move any further forward to grab it.
They want a keep to have that pressure, even if it's a middle keep actually, excuse me. They want to have that pressure with the catapults because they want to pressure other lanes to have that pressure really onto GG, because when Nazebo hits 20, Miracle is going to have a hard time trying to engage or even get picks.
So they're pushed away with 20 here. GG just can't contest this. They back off. They'll set up for a defensive hold here rather than try to fight with 20 against them. They know this keep is lost no matter what. But this is a risky move. Will they get caught here? It looks like we will see the catch onto Ragnaros. Will Ancona commit to the bolt? Doesn't look like he needs to. The root comes in here on top of both the ETC and the Ragnaros here.
The palm does connect. Rag is back up. Actually has to bolt away for Ancona there. Well played. Stage dive used defensively to save his teammate there.
Basically a lot of heroics used. The only one really available now is the Twilight Dream. But again, they just have so much sieging power that they're going to get this keep. GG at least prevents a second one from being taken. And now they're nearly... Oh my god! They did get the keep, but that was a close call. Almost saved what again. Imagine if GG gets another defensive engage. That could have been their ticket back into the game. Doesn't happen though. And now they're going to lose this top keep, it looks like. There's just not much they can do to stop this without 20. Oh, it's just around the corner. You know, it's almost ready.
It is almost ready yet. Stitches used bolt in the last fight, so will not bolt away with that gorge. And disengage, and Hooligan is caught. No escape whatsoever. Even Karjim has to palm himself.
He's going to try to look for the angle to palm out on the good. He does get it. Calamity damage comes in. He's not able to get the kill. Here's that Twilight Dream I was talking about. And now BDG, can he get out? Sniper on the chase. He's so low. He does get out, but it's at the cost of Jaehyun's life, who doesn't have the palm anymore. Flight away using Epic Mount for Sniper. That's going to be the kill onto good. And look, they get the hook onto Uche.
Perfect hook, of course. No follow-up, but BDG.
And this looks like that is going to be game. The full team wipe. 14 kills to 1. MVP Miracle will put the first mark on the scoreboard here in this best of 5.
That was too close. Just a little bit away from 20. Nazeebo can get that Vital Infection. Perfect power spike on 20, but it's not going to be enough. They're even going to put that sanctification for the safety, but that's going to be game.
GG unable to put any kills on the board, minus that one on the Hong Kono defensively. The Stitches pick